And WNBA is about to be getting in major federal trouble.
So, Adam Silver is in some serious federal trouble right now. He's got until tomorrow to show up in front of Congress and answer tough questions about gambling scandals and game rigging in the NBA. And get this, the WNBA is totally about to get pulled into this mess, too. Federal investigators are already digging into referees, looking at betting schemes, and even potential organized crime connections. Think about it. Caitlin Clark spent a whole season getting beat up on the court, and the refs just seemed to ignore it. Now, people are really starting to wonder if that was on purpose. This thing is going full federal. Before we break this down, tell me in the comments how many of those wild calls against Caitlin Clark suddenly make a lot more sense if refs were betting on the game.
Remember a couple weeks ago when they said that Adam Silver had until Halloween to sit in front of the commission and pretty much talk about this whole gambling and NBA situation? Well, I'm here to tell you, Adam Silver's running out of time, and he has until tomorrow to speak with the officials that run the country. Because if not, he's...
Look, let's just lay out what's really happening here, because this is way bigger than most people realize. The Senate Commerce Committee, with Senator Ted Cruz leading the charge, sent a really strong letter to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. They're demanding answers about all these gambling controversies and claims of game rigging. Silver literally has until Monday, which, as we record this, is tomorrow, to respond directly to Congress. We're not talking about a quick PR statement or a chat with the media. This is about answering actual federal investigators who have the power to subpoena people, conduct full investigations, and even bring criminal charges. This isn't just some sports drama that'll be forgotten next week. This is Capitol Hill getting involved, and that means things have definitely gone beyond what the NBA can just handle by themselves.
Federal indictments were announced involving current player Terry Rozier and current head coach Chauncey Billups. What was your initial reaction, and what have the last 36 hours been like for you?
My initial reaction was I was deeply disturbed. There's nothing more important to the league and its fans than the integrity of the competition. And so I had a pit in my stomach.
What's crazy is that letter from the Senate Commerce Committee specifically asks for all the documents related to any investigations the NBA has done since 2020. They want to see anything about players, coaches, or employees involved in betting or, get this, game rigging. Yes, that exact phrase, game rigging, is right there in official congressional papers. They didn't say questionable officiating or controversial calls. They said game rigging. So, the implication is crystal clear. Congress thinks games might actually be getting fixed. They want to know exactly what the NBA knew, when they knew it, and what, if anything, they did about it. And if the answer turns out to be, we knew and we did nothing, well, that's going to cause massive legal problems for Adam Silver and the entire league.
We got civil rights situations going on, we got illegal gambling going on, and supposedly, allegedly, referees rigging the games. Kathy Engelbert talking about the players. It is just an ugly situation going on in the media when it comes.
Here's where things get super interesting for WNBA fans, especially if you watched Caitlin Clark's first season closely. The WNBA and NBA are pretty much the same organization. They share ownership, they work together on a ton of stuff, and most importantly, they often use many of the same referees, or at least the same officiating rules. So, if Congress starts digging into the NBA for game rigging and gambling issues, the WNBA can't just sit there pretending they're separate. They're going down together if this investigation finds what it's looking for. Let's be honest about what everyone's been thinking, even if mainstream media won't say it. The officiating in Caitlin Clark's games was suspiciously bad, and it seemed to benefit betting lines. She got physically assaulted on the court over and over with no call. She got hit with phantom fouls at crucial times. Opponents pulled off flagrant violations without consequences, while she'd get called just for breathing near someone, and all of this happened in the most watched WNBA games ever, which also means they were the most bet-on WNBA games ever. This huge overlap between terrible officiating and massive betting interest? Yeah, investigators are not going to ignore that at all.
NBA now finds itself under federal scrutiny and all eyes are on Commissioner Adam Silver. Here's what's confirmed. No fluff, just facts. The U.S. Congress has officially requested a briefing from the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver by October 31st, following concerns about a potential gambling and game-fixing scandal involving individuals tied to the league. Now, the bipartisan request comes from the House Committee on Energy and Commerce, which says it wants, and I quote, clarity on the integrity of the game, end quote, after reports surfaced that insiders may have used non-public information for betting purposes. Now, this isn't the first time sports leagues have faced scrutiny over gambling ties, but Congress stepping in raises the stakes to a national level. So far, the NBA has not issued a detailed statement, only confirming that it plans to fully cooperate with federal authorities. What's unclear is how deep this investigation could go and whether it might shake the foundation of how professional sports handle transparency and betting partnerships. Here's the question I bring forward to the table for open discussion. Will this congressional briefing expose corruption or reinforce that the league still plays by the rules? Bow.
Okay, so where did all this federal investigation even start? It actually kicked off with a specific case involving a bunch of people, including Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier. Over 24 people got arrested for sharing secret info with sports bettors and rigging poker games. Now, when federal investigators pull on threads like this in sports gambling, they don't just stop at one league or one sport. They follow the money and all the connections wherever they lead. And if those connections lead right to WNBA referees who made some truly questionable calls in those huge Caitlin Clark games, that's going to be a massive headache for Kathy Engelbert. Her job is already super shaky right now. She's got that civil rights investigation going on, looking into how the league handled the physical targeting of Caitlin Clark. Plus, now she's potentially facing this whole federal gambling and game rigging probe. The civil rights part is about whether the league failed to protect Caitlin from unfair treatment. The gambling part is about whether games were fixed by refs who had their own betting interests.